boom,
boom,
ooh ah ah sensation coaster. Hey guys, Brittany and Parker here from Dine.
Hello.
And today we are bringing you a prediction video slash kind of an update video about one of our home parks, SeaWorld San Antonio.
That's right. We're actually going to be talking about their new ride that's coming in 2023. And I'm going to tell you right now what it's going to be. It's going to be a log flume.
Yay! That's exciting news for me.
Yeah.
I'm really happy about it.
Yes, and we even know where the ride is being built. It's actually being built right across from Wavebreaker.
Plans have pretty much been leaked at this point, but we don't know all of the details yet, and that's kind of the reason that we wanted to make this video, is to talk about some of the specifics and make our predictions about those small details.
Right. And so for those who haven't seen it, Park Fans, which is a fantastic website, by the way, they released the blueprints for the log flume that's going to be coming to SeaWorld San Antonio.
Woo!
And it looks really cool. And at first, when you look at the blueprints, it seems like just a typical log flume. But when you look closer, and when you look at what Park Fans did, it is so much more. But looking at the layout, it starts normal, like a regular log flume, does its little zigzaggy thing. And then it will turn the corner and either go up a lift hill or maybe hit a launch.
A launch.
A launch on a log flume.
A log flume launch?
That's the one.
That's really, really cool.
Yeah. No.
I can't really imagine launching on a log flume. Sounds so funny. But I really can't. Like, I feel like that'd be my new favorite ride.
It probably would be the best ride in the park.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Well, and so what it will do next, it'll come around the corner again, and then it will actually hit a elevator lift. So it will take you up vertically. Which
okay.
I don't think another ride does that in Texas.
No, but we did recently ride another SeaWorld ride that does this elevator lift, and that was Journey to Atlantis in SeaWorld San Diego.
Right.
And that was really cool.
Yeah, it totally caught you by surprise.
I was not expecting it, and I know that one tilts as you go up, so obviously this one probably wouldn't do that.
It probably won't, but we don't know. I mean,
Fair.
You're talking about a ride that was built by Mack.
Right.
And so was Journey to Atlantis. But years ago, there was rumors about a power splash coming to SeaWorld San Antonio, also that is Mack. So is it possible? Maybe. I don't think it's likely that it will have the tilting effect, though. But after that...
Okay. It's still really cool.
Oh, it really is. I mean, and I think it's facing a cool direction, too, because you'll be facing the lake. And then, you'll go down, and actually you'll hit an airtime hill, similar to like Dudley Do-Rights.
Okay, yeah.
Yep. And then you'll hit the splashdown, the final splashdown. Yeah. So it's all in all very cool. And I will also say I'm very glad that they're not building a power splash, because I just don't think that would have been the best fit for SeaWorld San Antonio.
I could definitely see why you would say that. I mean, I think the Power Splash is a cool ride.
Yeah.
But one, of course, obviously we know it's coming to Six Flags Over Texas.
Yeah.
Maybe one day.
One day.
So that's fairly close to build another one. And then two, really similar look, feel, layout to Journey to Atlantis in San Antonio.
Right.
And I think that like you or I or any kind of enthusiast would definitely know the difference. But to the general public, I thought it kind of looked like Journey 2.0.
Right.
Like Journey 1.5.
Yeah. Well, another thing I think of is that these are very thin rides, and you can put them basically anywhere. I mean, I even showed you, I'll show you right here. On this picture, you can see how you can fit it pretty much exactly what they were intending to do with this log flume. They're trying to keep the old log flume layout a little bit and use that existing structure. And so SeaWorld San Antonio is known for having a lot of land, but I think that people should probably reevaluate that. Because they've been adding a lot of stuff for the last few years, and so the land is slowly drying up, all to be able to use it all.
Slowly diminishing.
Yeah.
You and I always talk about SeaWorld San Antonio being the park with so much land, so much potential, so much space. But you're right. I mean, at some point, that's not going to be the case. And they have added a lot the last few years.
They really have. They've stepped it up.
Right. And that's amazing for us. But you do have to take into account the fact that that does mean you know, at some point we're not going to say that there's endless land. So.
Yeah, and I feel like people should come to terms with that reality sooner rather than later, because you want to be able to use that land well.
Right.
And one thing that SeaWorld is missing is a standout signature roller coaster, because they don't really have that. And I think they're probably the largest park that doesn't have a signature roller coaster. Hopefully, adding a log flume down the road, that will lead to a more signature attraction, which the park really does need.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. You could build a really cool log flume, and it's a great addition for now.
Yep.
But that does leave the opportunity to build that signature standout, boom,
boom,
ooh ah ah sensation coaster.
And I think the other thing that we should be talking about here, just because we know a lot about this ride, there's a few things that we don't know. And one of those things, like going back to the layout, is the lift versus launch.
Right.
Yeah, when you look at what is being built currently, because they've started construction on it, it doesn't appear to me like this is going to be a launch. It seems like the footers start closer together and then they get wider, just like you would when you would be going up higher.
Right, on a typical lift hill.
Yeah, for supports. Mm-hmm. And that's totally fine. The thing for me that I'm focused on is theming.
Right.
Yeah, and when you look at SeaWorld San Antonio, there are beautiful parts to their park, especially, I mean, Stingray Falls for me and Discovery Point, but they're not really getting that theme part to it yet.
Right, right. I mean, especially when you compare SeaWorld San Antonio to its sister parks in Orlando and San Diego, it's definitely missing that theming element and aspect.
I mean, even in San Antonio too, though, I mean, you look at Fiesta Texas, they've really brought theming to the forefront of what they're trying to do there.
They have, especially in the last few years. So both of the parks have been adding a lot every year, but yeah, Fiesta Texas has been trumping SeaWorld on the theming side of it.
Right.
I mean, we've talked about this in other videos, but you look at Pirates, you look at the Joker ride, of course, Dr. Diabolical that just opened. They all have like pre-shows and amazing queues and just things that we have not seen prior in the city of San Antonio.
Yeah.
And it would be so great to see some of that come to SeaWorld.
Right. Yeah, and of course, SeaWorld San Antonio has the animal aspect to it, which is an excellent thing to lean into.
Of course.
Yeah. And what's funny to me is that the two parks have never competed on a ride before. They usually build something different. The one exception of that would be Goliath and Great White, but I don't really count that. I feel like Goliath was kind of forced on them because it came from a different park.
Right.
But this is going to be the first ride for me, truly, that is competing with another ride. And that would be the log flume at Fiesta Texas, which is themed to Bugs Bunny.
Of course, yeah.
And the castle. And, the queue has a little bit of theme to it as well. You know what's even funnier is that this airtime hill, the one at Fiesta Texas, has that as well.
Yep.
But this is going to be much bigger than that, based off of the blueprints that we're seeing.
It has the potential, or really even more than potential. It's going to be a better log flume than Fiesta Texas log flume.
Right.
Which makes sense because it's newer, more innovative. Like, it should be better.
Yeah.
It's built in 2023. But it has to step up on theming and at least be on par with what Six Flags did years ago.
I think that's very true. But the reason why I'm leaning towards Intamin is because there's actually two reasons.
Okay.
One, they were the ones who did Infinity Falls.
Okay.
Also
SeaWorld
had
Orlando.
a vertical lift, which was really cool.
That was really, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
That was really cool.
No, yeah, that's a great ride. And then the other reason is there is a ride in Europe, and I'm going to show you this for the first time, see what you think of it.
I just love doing stuff like this.
I do.
Okay. Oh, cool. Ooh.
Yeah, and even this log flume has a ton of theming. I mean, it's themed
It does.
to...
Look, there's beavers. Oh my gosh, that's adorable.
Yeah. Yeah, and this one actually has a cool backwards transition, kind of like Frozen at Epcot.
Yeah.
And then it goes into that elevator lift.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, this was just built this past year. It opened like a month ago or a month or two ago.
Very neat.
And so I feel like Intamin's might be on this kick of log flume. So I'm leaning towards that being the manufacturer. Yeah, they put in their actual mascot.
That's Adorable.
on the ride. Yeah, so it looks pretty similar to what they're doing here at SeaWorld San Antonio, according to these blueprints. Mm-hmm. And I think the theming is really funny. It's cute.
The theming is so cute.
I really wonder what SeaWorld San Antonio can bring to their log flume to enhance it, to try to match the theming maybe, or exceed the theming. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would like to remain like cautiously optimistic, because I feel like SeaWorld has had the opportunity to do great theming with their past few editions, and they have kind of missed the mark. I just would love to see the theming aspect be on par with the other aspects of the park, because I think that SeaWorld San Antonio is great. I love SeaWorld San Antonio.
Yeah.
It's like my top parks.
We love it.
But
And
I just want to see, I want to see the theming there, you know?
well, so you said you want to be cautiously optimistic. I'm going to throw that all out the window.
Oh, good.
So when you look at the posters of the construction site, it shows Rio Loco, Great White, Steel Eel, and it shows all of these like kind of national parks in the background.
Yes.
And I feel like that can't be an accident. I feel like that is intentional. And I see Yosemite in at least one of the pictures. I'm not sure what other people see.
This is SeaWorld's marketing department stepping it up a little bit.
Yeah.
I will say, this is some good
I think
teasers.
it's fun because it's like right in front of your eyes and no one's talking about it.
What does it mean?
Right. Well, so I think it's interesting that they chose those rides too. Mm-hmm. And so I was thinking, you know, what if this is a possible land that's going to be created from Steel Eel all the way over to Rio Loco?
Wow. Okay. That is a really big portion.
Okay.
I will say.
Yes. And then, you know what? I brought it back a little bit. I brought it back. And I said, you know what? Notably missing is Wavebreaker, which is right in the middle of what would have been that themed
Yeah, why
area.
would there not be a poster of Wavebreaker?
Yes, and so I came up with option 2, which would be an area that is between Steel Eel, where it goes over the pathway by the penguin exhibit, to Great White. And so that would encompass this new log flume, Wavebreaker, and then also the arcade area, that building. Mm-hmm. And you could do something else with it to pull into this new potential theme.
Okay.
Yeah. I think that's more likely. And also when you really look at the pictures, those 3 rides are in the front and then the landscapes are in the back. So it's almost, to me, alluding that, you know, this new land is gonna be back there somewhere. And Wavebreaker is right in the middle of these rides.
That makes sense. So not to come in as like the pessimist to burst your bubble or anything.
Oh, burst
like,
away.
You know, like bring down the dreamer. He's like way up there. But to me, I saw it and I didn't see Wavebreaker or Texas Stingray, because I thought, oh, those 3 rides, Rio Loco, Great White, Steel Eel, are SeaWorld's older rides. And this is, we know, a log flume that is revamping an older ride that once existed, resurrecting the log flume.
Yes.
It's an OG like these.
You know, that makes a lot of sense too.
Sorry. But I still like your idea, and it could be both.
It really could, because
know.
I mean, why not both, first of all? And also I'm kind of on a high from our Worlds of Fun video where we made different predictions and it turned out to be a little bit of all of the things that we predicted.
That was really cool.
But no matter what, we're very excited for this ride. And I don't even think this is the only thing for SeaWorld San Antonio for 2023 because of Bay of Play.
Yes. So, you know, recently SeaWorld actually demolished a whole section of Sesame Street Bay of Play area, formerly known as Happy Harbor when I was young. And we know that that is a hugely popular area in SeaWorld.
Yeah.
San Antonio itself is a family town. SeaWorld is a family park. That area is always packed. There's so many families with small children that go to SeaWorld. I cannot see them taking this whole part out without putting something new in.
Yeah.
They've got to have a plan here.
Well, I mean, my gut tells me that it is like the one in SeaWorld Orlando, that they're going to redo that area.
That would be so cute.
With those buildings, the again, theming. I'm thirsty for theming.
Thirsty for theming, yeah. Yeah, SeaWorld Orlando, actually, really blew me away when we were there recently. I had not looked up anything about the Sesame Street area, and we walked through it. I mean, it makes sense. We're not small children, obviously. We don't have small children, so we don't really spend time in the Sesame Street area when we go to the park. But we did go through it to look around, and I was like, wow, this is really cool.
Yeah.
They have like interactive games. They've got insane decor, things that look like doors and buildings that aren't. I mean, it was
a meet and greet in one of the buildings too. I mean, there were a lot of layers to it, and it did a really good job of keeping some existing rides while still adding to the area, making it new. And I think that that's a real possibility for SeaWorld San Antonio.
Yeah, that would be really neat. I hadn't thought about that, but that's a good point. That hopefully is also coming because, like, again, not necessarily for us, but just to add to the park.
And I think it makes sense too because, again, like we mentioned, they're adding stuff a lot. I mean, when you look at what they did this year, they added water slides and a thrill ride. So it's not like they're just limiting themselves to one thing each year.
Right. So true. And a haunted house.
Right. And that ties back into the using of land. They're using the land, very fast.
Either way, though, we're really excited for SeaWorld San Antonio. It's one of our favorite parks, not just because we live here, but we just love SeaWorld in general.
Yeah, well, and it's always been synonymous to me for potential. And so when I look at this ride, I just see potential, and I'm very excited for it. And we want to know, are you guys excited too? What do you think? What do you think it's going to be? Do you think it's going to be a whole themed area, just the ride? Is there a certain theme that you would want? Is there a certain national park in these pictures that you think it could be? Yeah, I see Yosemite. That's me.
Sure. I know nothing about national parks, so Yosemite sounds good. I think another one is Yellowstone.
That is another one. That is true.
I don't know if I could name any more.
Is the Bay of Play getting a redo? What's going on?
And what are your thoughts on these blueprints too? Are you excited for this log flume? Does it look cool? Do you wish it was a power splash? Let us know what you think in the comments. Of course, we love to hear your thoughts and strike up conversations about theme parks. And of course, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Ride or Dine. We're trying really hard to hit 1,000 subscribers, and we are very close.
Yeah.
So if you could hit that button if you haven't already, we would greatly appreciate it. Thanks so much, and we'll see you guys next time.